That's so dumb. They're both on their way now. Okay. Yeah, that was stupid. Why? Why did that happen? I don't even understand. I don't know anymore. Well, I can take this one. Because I don't need it. Yeah. Yeah, numbers. Anyway, it's that, 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 and then the evaporator. So, taking that, 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 and that. Likely have to change the orientations. Can I move this to be out of the way? I think so. Then I can just grab that and stick it where I really want my alignments. Doink, 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 doink. And that will be that. Eventually, I need, unfortunately, another one of these. Fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to call it. More steam! More steam is required. Hello, robots. Hello, all my robots. How nice to see you. All my bots. All of them. All of them. And I need more of the glorious and beautiful ammonia. Hello, ammonia. Also, this makes, like, ungodly amounts of tailings, so that is being voided. Void. Yes, you, and you with all the things. I don't care. All the things. Void. Void for me. Just void today. So, sodium chlorate. We'll have the steam shortly. Then that and that. These all need to have an output. Because they all produce some amounts of vanadium. This one needs an input of the sodium chlorate, which I should have supreme amounts of at the moment. Sodium chlorate, wherever the hell I'm making that, somewhere over here. You there. Hello. Yeah, I have a few units of that being made. So, yay! It's vanadium! Vanadium. The venom. The venomdium. Can I do more? More faster? More. Faster. Destroy all tailings! Yeah, so, needless to say, this is, like, all that I need. And then some. Of the vanadium pentoxide. And it means that I don't have to do this anymore. That particular particle accelerator can just go away. It is no longer required. Services no longer required. And there's lots of actual vanadium too along the lines. Hey, it's the construction bots doing work. They're working! I have a few of them. A few! And I have it set to add more into the system when there's a certain amount in use. So I get more as they're used. Yeah. Looks like my power is stabilized. All right, well there's your vanadium chain. But by the way, there it is. Like there be vanadium. We did it. Vanadium. Like in case you weren't aware of what this chain looks like, that's what it looks like in the end. No, this is not even remotely fully consuming the actual arthropod blood in from here. The like 300 plus blood that is being used here because of all of this stupidity with the god modules. Just again, note under normal circumstances, if you're not using Bob's modules with the setting that changes these to be able to actually use productivity in here, none of this normally will use productivity. None, like grand total 0, can use productivity along this whole chain. So it will matter, maybe, how many buildings you're using. All right, so we've got like a little under half an hour left. What the hell am I going to do for this little under half an hour? What in the world is limiting the antimatter? What? Where even is the antimatter? Hello. Oh, it's my good friends. So we meet again. So we meet again, my superconducting servo mechanisms. Aren't I launching rockets? Like, aren't I launching actual rockets? Where's my... What happened to the satellites? Did I just not continue producing satellites? I don't think I actually continued producing satellites. Now that I think about it, now that I think about it, probably haven't been producing satellites at all. Hey, buddy. Satellites. Yeah. Actually, not you. You. Make me something nice. Make me some nice things. Some pretty things. Glorious things. That don't, like, don't even think about that much of the anything. Yeah, see, that's where problems come into play. Yeah, hello, stuff. Ah, it's made them. So that'll be the space science, by the way. That's the easy way. At this point in time, that's the easy way. You can just launch rockets and get space science. Especially since the ability to launch rockets has been improved slash not made very difficult. Currently, it has been buffed. Of all the things to get buffed, the ability to launch rockets was buffed because you have to launch rockets for Tholins. That is not going to be this way forever, though, because Pydew may or may not be working on an alternative rocket. Alternative rockets and, you know, space block. Like, an actual space map to build things on. Yeah. That's in our future. That'll be for producing Tholins and for making cosmic space dingrits and whatever else we shall need from space. But that is a thing for the future. But it is in development as like one of the final major feature overhauls that will be part of, technically considered part of alien life. So I guess, like, the only other thing now to think about is the diamond processing chain. So now that we've done, for realsies, vanadium, the only other for realsies that's of importance, like a required process that I skipped. Oh yeah, gold. Gold is the other one. Duh. Technically. Proper gold is on that list. That requires going through improved chromium shenaniganry. So somewhere in here, I should have diamonds. Maybe. Do I? I don't have diamonds. Yes, that's particle acceleration. That's not actual diamonds. So I may not have. Well, at least I'm not seeing actual diamonds. So a diamond. I need to pay attention, by the way, when I look at diamonds, because there are a couple of like branching paths with diamonds. I may have to actually bring up my own guide to look at diamonds, because that's how convoluted diamonds are. Yes, that's the one. We will wash crude diamonds. We'll get crude diamonds through all 3 of those. 1, 2, and 3. I need a source of grease, slaked lime, organic solvent, which I have. That will come from... all 3 of those come from that. Diamond concentrate from... or diamond water concentrate, excuse me, from a mix of both of those. The diamond concentrate from... oh, you know what? No, it's not. It's not from that. It's from that, and then yeah, because that gives more stuff to loop back. Because of course it does. It gives more stuff to loop back. Yeah, and that makes the tailings and some concentrate. The tailings then go into concentrate, and then all the concentrate into the water concentrate. And in this process also gives rejects that will then get processed into, I think it's the pure, or is it the rejects? I have to check. Is it what happens with rejects again? I completely and utterly forget. Oh, so yeah, no, it's not the rejects one I want. It's the level 2 thing. Note the residues in here. Yeah, so diamonds are a little confusing at times. There are a couple options. There are options with these. So yeah, that's gonna end up somewhere. I need to have a matrix solver on regardless, so let's make sure that that is on. We need kimberlite pulp. From the beginning of this, the kimberlite pulp is from grade 3 kimberlite, grade 3 from pure and 2. The pure also comes from 2, grade 2, from crushed, from the rejects, that's there already. Pretty sure. Yep, makes G2. Where is the residue? I think I have to add the residue. So I should... one of these has kimberlite rejects there, as well as from the kimberlite rocks, which are what's mined. The rocks are the ore in here. So that just leaves the residues that go into rejects. Residues to rejects. And then rejects into grade 2. And grade 2 goes into pure grade 2 and grade 3. The pure grade 2 goes into grade 3. And the grade 3 into pulp, which will go into residues, into rejects, into or into the diamond rejects into the doohickeys again. The grade 2. Pure grade 2, actually. So pure grade 2 into grade 3, and it loops. Thus, the matrix solver in here. This should all be Mark 4. Like, please. Please, all Mark 4. None of it uses productivity, I think. I think none of it by default uses productivity. Maybe the very last step. I don't think so, though. Under normal circumstances, this is still relatively low output by comparison to the particle accelerator, even after getting buffed. So I do still I will always recommend the particle accelerator recipe over doing actual kimberlite processing. It's always better. 100% of the time, I would say the not doing this will be a better option. Because what ends up happening with this is that it is an absolute ton. It is an absolute ton of the rejects, or the residues. These kimberlite residues, in particular, are just so stupidly high volume. It is actually dumb. What this is. So if I do 15, just a yellow belt of just quote unquote just a yellow belt of industrial diamonds. Like I can sort of ignore the numbers on here because if I really want to be apply this to the current mod, like all of it use speed. We can see it's like 1 sometimes 2. The most buildings here is 3, just with all the speed modules alone. Speed modules alone, not even productivity. Like we can look at this without productivity, with just the speed modules, and there's the building counts. Does not matter so much if I have the if you have the 160 speed modules, level 8 speed modules. This would be even more insane if I was doing productivity along the line, but yeah. So for a yellow belt of industrial diamonds, by the way, I'm consuming more than a yellow belt of industrial diamonds. Like just by the way, the base I think consumes more than that. What consumes diamonds again? Space science. Space science consumes diamonds. It's actually consuming 0.8 diamonds, so that's fine. 0.08 diamonds. Interesting. Unless anything else uses, like other things, I think in here might use diamonds. Where do the diamonds go? Diamond. Where do you go, Mr. Industrial Diamond? Diverters and advanced coatings for purple science. Yeah, and condo cores for intelligent units. So if I broke this down to really see how many diamonds are being used, it's actually a few. Quite a few in the end. But, we'll manage. So I was looking at this entire process here, because this is what we'll be working on building, I think, in the next stream. That is, of course, unless we decide that just to move on to Pyblock. Shall we just move on to Pyblock? You can let me know through comments or through the Discord or through any of that from here, because we have met the production goal on this particular save, and Pyblock is actually being worked on right now. Just think C-Block, just Pyandon's mods instead of Angels and Bob's. It is its own thing here. So yeah, just this thing is just absolute insanity. But yeah, 15 from 65.57. So if we really want to get into like digging deep into the numbers here, we have 65.57 rocks. So, a little over 2 red belts going into, or shall we say, more than even a blue belt in here, going into a yellow belt of industrial diamonds. I need to somehow manage 108 residues. 108 residues in this whole process. Well, I do have, yeah, I have all the sciences. This is just, right now, this is just looking at the stuff that I haven't done that I could have done, but I sort of already have tutorials on YouTube. Like, this, diamonds haven't changed, actually. Nothing in diamonds besides, like, the production method for aromatics. Like, that's the only thing that's changed in this. Like, how one gets aromatics is different than my recommendations from that particular video, because that was before Pi Alien Life, where it was super simple to get Relesia and Phalagi. Because back then, there still is a recipe to convert Relesia and Phalagi into aromatics directly, and for both of them, it was either just water or just water and hydrogen, which is just water, and soil, which is just water. So it ended up being really, really easy to do nice compact setups to make aromatics on demand wherever you need them. So, yeah, it very different now with the new mechanics. Very different now with the new mechanics. So, otherwise, if you really want to see this built out, I think I did this exact path of stuff just without modules like this, without Mark IV buildings. I think I did it with like regular buildings, and you could see, like, at the time, the different ratios of the buildings. The some of the speeds have changed on some of the things to help a little bit, but otherwise it's the same process. It's the same exact process as what it was back then for that tutorial on doing diamonds. My opinion still stands that particle acceleration is the better way of doing diamonds. Converting graphite into diamonds in a particle accelerator, even though it does consume the proton donors, which uses rayon. Now, as for how in this save I would get 65.57, well, you know, bacon. So let's bear in mind that these are mining drills and cannot have productivity associated with them. So, or additional productivity. So with the miners, even with 3 modules giving them 160 speed, the actual mining drills are really slow. So when I say that you need 65.57, that is a lot of mining drills. Like, that is a lot of diamond mines. This is without any speed bonuses on them. 52 mines to get the amount of rocks you need for a yellow belt of diamonds. Like, it's rather obscene how much stuff is required for this. Now, I could put down beacon 3s. We can pick a thing, although I can't actually show it unless I have power. So here's a spot that is closer to power. Yeah, so there's, for the sake of argument, 10. I ran out of modules. Oops. Hey there, buddy. Did I ever put speed modules in you? Nope. Okay. Take those. And then power. So this makes how much? The tick rate. Oh boy. It makes the tick rate. Mining speed, 305.4. Yeah, that's a bit much. 1345. Yeah, that's a bit much. What is... Okay. Let's undo. Are you above the tick rate? No. Are you above the tick rate? Yes. Okay, somewhere between that. Okay, so somewhere between those two is when it hits the cap. So about 100 in that one with all the stuff. That would do it off of that one. That would be the amount that I need in a doohickey. Yes, just do a chest and then I can ignore everything else of these. Voila, there we've got the rocks, and then we can build out the thing with all of the aromatics on the planet and all the industrial solvent. I could just do requester stations for those. I can do. I would need to bring in grease, so I would need to make grease somewhere. I would need slaked lime somewhere with additional lime as an outside input, and I would need a sulfuric acid in. But otherwise, this is actually a fairly simple chain, all things considered. All things considered, a fairly simple chain. I think I am just going to end off the series with this episode and with this stream. Just by the way, if we want to return for additional videos, I might return for additional videos. In fact, what I'll likely do is I'll have a series of like mini tips videos and such that'll go up on YouTube that'll be this save. Might like do some updated videos on ore processing and stuff with this now that I do have a completed base. So I can show off a lot of stuff just to show what the options are so that we can move on with our streaming into a new world, which would be Pyblock. Though, again, just so everyone is on the same page with a Pyblock playthrough, it is incredibly slow. It is an incredibly slowly paced thing. So just keep in mind there's going to be times where we're just going to be talking and waiting and doing like nothing for a little bit of time while stuff is produced. And I will likely help to alleviate some of that by letting the game run off screen while not streaming to collect resources. I won't build anything, but resources will collect so that we can actually do stuff while on stream. But that first stream, that first 3 hours, is probably not going to be the most pleasant experience on the planet, but yeah, it'll be a thing. It'll be a thing. That'll happen. I guess that will happen. Oh hey, I've got space science. It has accrued. I have accrued the space science. But yeah, so we have like 6 minutes left for today's stream. So what can I do here at the very end? So if this is going to be our last stream of this map, I guess I can quickly go over again what the map is, what the intended output was and is, technically, like, bugs notwithstanding with Train Supply Manager. So this particular playthrough was a playthrough with Train Supply Manager, with the full Pi suite, including Pi Alien Life. It began in version 17 of Factorio, 0.17 of Factorio, right before the introduction of 0.18. It was updated into 0.18 and continued from there. It began before the change to the Pi suite that got rid of vanilla coal as well as vanilla oil resources and all of that good stuff. So yeah, at this point we no longer have access to the vanilla coal resource patch as well as the vanilla crude oil. Vanilla crude oil can sort of still spawn if you have RSO, but you can't tap into it because the vanilla pump jack is unavailable to you. Also, the vanilla crude oil processing recipes are no longer available to you, nor is the vanilla production recipe for plastic. The coal plus petroleum gas recipe for plastic that no longer exists, or is no longer unlocked by any tech in the Pie Suite. So you have to do things the Pie way. It is the Pie way or the highway. That is how that works now for the petrochemicals processing and all that good stuff. So yeah, I've made great use of the fact that I actually do still have access to coal on this map. I've made great use of Bob's modules here at the end. It took several hundred hours before even getting Bob's modules, so don't tell me that it's cheating. It's like, excuse me, but we spent how many hundreds of hours even getting to the point of being able to use the Bob's modules? I'm just, the points are invalid. Completely, utterly invalid about the power of Bob's modules. And we spent how many hundred hours even with them at this point? Yeah. Most of the game was played at 2x speed. That's another thing to note. Most of it was at 2x, although not all of it is actually at the full 2 times game speed. The game right now is capable of going a bit under 60 frames per second. Bit under 60, even after doing some updating and removing of entities. That helped, by the way, and upgrading all of the Logibots as best I could. Made use of bot recaller when I did need to upgrade my robots. Got rid of bot recaller once I did get the highest tier of bots, though, because it does consume resources rather significantly. Started off the base over in this area. This was our starting area with all the starting resource patches. The changes to hot air really got rid of a lot of this stuff. The hot air usage, not being able to use them directly on ores to plates anymore was a big change. And then, of course, the production being changed for hot air changed things even further with the base. This base has undergone a lot of updates as the Pie Suite has been updated. Way too many to count at this point, or even remotely think about going over. But yeah, I had a whole video going over several videos actually on YouTube. The vast majority of an entire stream where I did the full grand tour of this base. We can just pan over and see where all the various things are. Not all of it was actually used in the end. Not every, like, there's a lot of things that were overproduced in the end. I'll have to go and do a review of what was overused, what was underused, slash what I need more of, where to focus my attentions going forward as I can go through additional Pie Suite games. Guess I'm technically one of the first people, if not the first person, at least on screen with proof, like doing a playthrough for an audience of Pi Alien Life. I'm one of the few people who has actually completed the Pie Suite even before Alien Life. So now I've officially beaten Pie Suite twice. I don't know how many people have done it more than once, let alone done it once. I'm sure you can count them on your hands and feet, I suppose. I don't know exactly. There's not many people. There's not many. I tried to make use of the modular rail system blueprints, by the way. So if you do a search for modular rail system, that's generally what I used. I used the 2 lanes, not the 4 for this. As I deadlock. As my trains deadlock. Hello? Good thing it's the end! With that, folks, I would like to thank you all for watching. It is that time to end off the stream. If you're watching the VODs on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/Otaku Showboat to leave a follow to be notified when I go live Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. US Eastern Time. You can do all of the social stuff through the links below the video, including supporting Pyandon's mods development at patreon.com/Pyandon and myself at patreon.com/OtakuShowboat. I will be back at the usual time on Tuesday, where we are going to be beginning a new series of Pyblock. So still going to be playing Pyandons, but starting up a fresh new playthrough. I hope to see you all then.